And now we move back to housing, and a lack of housing inventory has some questioning if home prices will continue to be driven up. Here to weigh in is Debbie Bloyd, the CEO of DLB Financial Services, who joins us from Texas. Debbie, welcome back. It's so nice. I know it takes you a while to get here. We so much appreciate it. What do you think about this lack of inventory? Will it keep moving prices up?
It is going to, yes, a little bit, and the inventory is going to catch up at some point. Builders are getting a little bit more money. Consumers are going to drive this race, though.
But, you know, I mean, consumers, they drive it if they can. I mean, if prices continue to go up, there's going to be a lot of wannabe home buyers who just, you know, can't afford it. And I guess, you know, from one perspective, you say, well, you can't afford it, or lower your expectation. But we've already seen home sales slowing down in some parts of the country. So I guess my question to you is, if home prices are so high and people can't keep buying them, won't we have a glut on the market? And what will that do to housing?
You're going to have a glut of houses on the market. The prices are going to be stable just because of demand, but investors are going to pick those up, not home buyers. So investors are going to buy the houses, renovate them a little bit, put them back up for rent, and then those people that don't have a big enough down payment, have bad credit, they're going to be able to rent those houses. We've got an onslaught of people that right now can't afford their first-time home, because first-time homes in different markets could be starting at $300,000. They're going to be renters.
And how about housing starts? I mean, we just, you know, we talked about earlier about the great second quarter. The economy is moving forward, best Q2 since 2012. Right. But at the same time, it seems that we're seeing starts sort of drop off a little bit. What should we expect going into fall, and how will that impact sort of regional and the national housing market, Debbie?
Well, I think in several areas, the housing starts are moving to the suburbs because the cities are full. So you're going to see housing starts in the suburbs, but that's going to be slower. You know, people don't want to drive an hour to get to work. So they're going to take an option maybe to rent, and rent in the cities where it's closer. It's going to be location. It's also going to be, where are the banks lending the money? So community banks that do a lot of lending for smaller home builders have to lend within a certain territory, or they don't get to lend at all. So where those banks are located, those builders are going to go to those banks, and they're going to build where their zip code is, where those codes are, to allow the little suburbs area to grow. So you're going to see more building in the suburbs. It's just going to be slow. Banks can't lend out all the money that's available with all the rules and regulations from Dodd-Frank. So it's going to be slow going for a while. People are going to have to start buying homes that have already been lived in, and the new housing starts will slow down unless it's a custom home, and they're going to be getting their own financing.
Before we go, Debbie, let me ask you this question. We know that the Federal Reserve is poised to raise interest rates. You know, the bets are like 90% they're going to raise in September. Is now the time home buyers should, you know, go ahead and strike while the iron is not too hot?
Right. Everybody says, Shais, wait until next year. Maybe inventory will be better. Yeah, but it's going to cost you more. So my expectation, what I've figured out in the market, is that every time the Fed talks, just say that there's going to be a 0.25% hit to the interest rates. So that house is now going to cost you maybe 6% next year in interest, where right now it's hovering around the 4.8755%. So you would get a newer house, maybe it's going to cost you more, and it's going to cost you more to borrow the money. I might think the time to buy is right now.
Plus, all those people that wanted to sell their homes, like before the school year began, and still are holding on to them, they may be dropping the prices too. So there might be some other deals out there. At least that's what some of my real estate friends tell me. Debbie Bloyd, the CEO of DLB Financial Services. Thank you so much, Debbie. Sorry, I got to go now. Appreciate your time.
Thanks.